Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be doing a video that I have never done on my channel, and this was actually a request from somebody. They left this idea in the comments under one of my videos. I can't remember exactly which one, but they gave me this idea and I thought it was really cool, and I thought, why not? I'm just gonna do it. I think it would be really fun. So as you can tell by the title, this video is called Before Tattoos and Piercings and What I Would Tell Myself. Now, if you're still not following, if you have no idea what we're gonna be doing today, basically we're gonna be talking about myself before I had any tattoos and piercings, and we're gonna go back to that girl and we're gonna see what that girl has to tell this girl now, who does in fact have tattoos and piercings. Does that make sense? Basically, it's kind of like the old YouTube tag, what I would tell my younger self. But this one is going to be body mods, you know, centered around body mods. What I would tell myself before I started getting body mods. And I just thought this was really kind of interesting. I mean, obviously, I can't change anything now. What's done is done. What's inked is inked. I have no regrets. But I just thought this would be kind of fun, and I came up with 5 points that I thought are very relevant and something that I would probably tell myself back then before I started getting them. So if you guys are interested in finding out what I would tell myself before I started putting needles in my face and on my body, coloring myself, then let's go ahead and jump right into it. So I think the very first thing that I would tell myself is just because you are 18 years old doesn't mean you need to go and get tattoos, okay? So the legal age to get a tattoo in my state, in my country, is 18, or you need a parent or guardian's permission if you want to get it done younger than that. I think the youngest they go for tattoos is 16 with a parent or guardian present, but the legal age to go and get as many tattoos as you want is 18 years old, okay? And before I turned 18, like when I was, you know, in my preteen years, in my young teenage years, I knew I always wanted to get tattoos, but I wasn't like that serious about it. It wasn't like a absolute goal of mine. And then when I turned 18 and I knew that I could go and get tattoos, it almost kind of like consumed me, and I was like, oh my god, I'm 18 and I don't have a tattoo. I need to go get a tattoo right now. When it's like, girl, slow the fuck down. Like, just because you're 18 doesn't mean you need to go right this fucking second to go and get a tattoo. You know what I mean? Honestly, just because you're 18, you don't have to go and get tattoos. That doesn't mean it's like a rite of passage. Some people go their whole entire lives without getting a tattoo. My dad, for example, he lived 78 years before he passed away, and he didn't have one single tattoo. If I could go back and, you know, see myself turn 18, I'd be like, okay, you're 18, but I just want to let you know that just because you're 18 doesn't mean you have to run out and go get a tattoo every other month, because that's literally what I did. I was going ham when I turned 18 with tattoos. The second thing I would tell myself is don't let other people influence your tattoo decisions. For my very first tattoo, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to get, and I was dating somebody at the time, and I got an identical tattoo of what they had. So I basically was like, I don't know what I want to get. And, you know, they had this tattoo, and, you know, it was kind of like, well, you know, get this and like it'll match, like whatever, blah, blah, blah. And at the time I was like, oh my god, that's a genius idea, because I really did like the tattoo. Like, it's a cool tattoo. I have had it reworked since then. It doesn't look the same because I didn't want it to match anymore. I wish I would have just, you know, kind of taken a step back and just kind of really thought about what I wanted and what I wanted to get. I mean, that was mostly just for my first tattoo. All of my other tattoos, they were my decision, they were my choice, but I think for my first tattoo, it was just kind of like one of those things where I was like, I don't know what I want to get. Oh, I'll just get what you have. Like one of those things, you know, which is really stupid. Don't fucking do that shit. Don't let other people influence, you know, your choices. And I'm not saying they like told me to get it. Like, it wasn't like, you're gonna get this fucking like, it wasn't that, you know. It was just kind of one of those things where I was letting other people's looks and tattoos kind of influence what I wanted to get. Does that make sense? I don't know. But I probably wouldn't do that again. Just get what you want to get. Get what sparks joy to you. Get what sparks meaning to you. Or just get something random. If that's something you like to do, if you like to go into a tattoo shop and say, hey, I want to get tattooed, give me your flash book and pick out a couple, that's totally fine. But just make sure that it is 100% you making that decision and that it is 100% your choice making that decision. And that's kind of why I feel personally that they should raise the age for getting tattoos. I think personally they should raise the age of getting tattoos to like 21 or 25, just because at the age of 18, even though you are considered a legal consenting adult, you're not, okay? I was a dumb fucking 18-year-old, okay? Like, I am the furthest thing from that person. Wow. Oh my God, that was 11 years ago. Holy shit, I'm old. I'm so old. I was 18, 11 years. Excuse me? I'm gonna cry. I'm overwhelmed. I need a minute. Yeah, I am not the same person I was almost 11 years ago, okay? Like, should not have been getting tattoos that young. I don't think anybody should get a tattoo that young. That's just my personal thoughts on it because, you know, you're 18, you're just leaving your parents' house, you are experiencing the world, and you want to do things that you've never been able to do before, and sometimes you make those decisions on a whim, and they're not always the greatest. So if I could go back, I would smack my 18-year-old self and be like, bitch, what the fuck is you doing? Don't do that shit. The third thing that I have on my list is that I would go back and tell myself is do not get tattooed in a kitchen. Why am I so toxic? Why am I so toxic? So if you have been following me for quite a while, then you know I have my fair share of kitchen tattoos. I have one on my back, hand, wrist, stomach, and I think that's it. But I have had my fair share of kitchen tattoos. They were done by someone I was seeing at the time, and they wanted to get into tattooing, and I volunteered to be a guinea pig. Now, I do not regret any of my kitchen tattoos. I love every single one of my tattoos. I have zero regrets when it comes to that. I don't really give a shit about, like, I mean, I care, but, like, I don't know. Like, this isn't perfect, but I love it. This isn't perfect, but I love it. Like, I don't regret them. However, I was taking a really huge risk by doing that. One, getting tattooed in a kitchen by equipment that you bought offline is very not sterile. I could have run the risk of a very serious infection. I could have run the risk of the tattoo getting seriously infected and having to go to the hospital. It's just not a good idea. But I was living in downtown Grand Rapids in the ghetto at the time, and it was like a known thing on the street that like people were just getting scratcher tattoos, and that's just what we did. It was Friday night, we were smoking some pot, drinking, and then it was like, let's fucking tattoo each other. Woo! And that's exactly what we did. It's also very illegal. Like, if you're gonna do that and you start charging people money to do that, you can't do that without a business license. So if you're someone who's tattooing in your kitchen and you're charging people for it, I really hope you have a fucking license and a health department check, because if you're not, that's illegal, okay? Don't do that shit. So yeah, I would tell myself not to get tattooed in a kitchen, not because I would hate them or regret them, but because it is not very sanitary, it is not very healthy. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. The fourth thing, and this is the last tattoo thing, a lot of these revolve around tattoos because tattoos are permanent, okay? Like, once they're inked into your body, they're there forever. So I wanted to focus this more on tattoos, especially for, like, younger people. With piercings, like, obviously you can make some very big mistakes with piercings, but, I mean, they're not necessarily permanent like tattoos are. So the very last tattoo point that I would go back and tell myself is do not, under any circumstances, go and get a name tattooed on you. Never, ever, ever, ever get a name tattooed on you unless it is your child, your dog, your mother, your father, whatever. If it is a significant other, please, for the love of all that is holy, do not get their name tattooed on you. And I am speaking from a very personal experience. It is not a good idea to permanently mark somebody who is not directly related to you onto your body, because nothing is forever except that tattoo, okay? And you're going to come to regret it very quickly. And I'm just going to say this now, cover-ups hurt. I did have that name covered up pretty quickly, and it was an incredibly painful experience, an experience that I would be very glad to never go through again. It was on my ribs. It was incredibly painful. That's so stupid. And see, that's another interesting thing about being young and how the brain isn't fully developed yet, because you literally do things when you're younger and you do not think about the consequences. I'm sorry, but you don't. Like, you just don't, and I didn't. And it was just one of those things on a whim, like, I went and did it. Horrible idea. Went and got it covered up. It hurt like a bitch. I didn't want to go through the removal process because I think tattoo removal is honestly kind of a waste of time and money. So I decided to go the cover up route, and it was very painful. It's best to just not get a name tattooed on you at all. For instance, I have Jackal's name. This was one of my kitchen tats. This is my dog's name, and he was named after the band Jackal. That is the only name I have tattooed on me, and that is the only name I will ever get tattooed on me, is my dog's name. And the fifth and final thing that I would tell my younger self before getting tattoos and piercings, this one revolves around piercings. And what I would tell myself is cheap piercings are not always good piercings. So if you guys have been following me for a long time, I kind of got my start here on YouTube by uploading piercing related videos. I think what really kind of kick-started my YouTube was when I got my tongue pierced and I started doing daily check-in videos on how it was healing, and I mean, the rest is history. When I first started my YouTube channel, I just had it so I could upload funny videos of me and my sister. It wasn't anything I was taking seriously. And then once I started uploading like my tongue piercing journey, that's when I was like, oh, like this is kind of fun. Like I'm helping people, this is cool. And I started getting more and more piercings that I've always wanted to get so I could make content for my YouTube channel. So piercings are a huge reason why I have a YouTube channel, basically. And back when I did start my YouTube channel, I wasn't making any money. I did not have a job. I was very broke. I had no money, okay? The only time I did get money is if I got like birthday money or if I returned some pop cans and got cash that way. I didn't have a whole lot of money, and there was actually a piercing shop within walking distance of the house that I was living in with roommates, and they always did $10 piercings. Yes, I'm not kidding. $10 piercings, including the jewelry, including the service, everything. $10 flat, no questions asked. And I went there and I got my tongue pierced for $10. I got a helix piercing for $10, a tragus piercing for $10, an eyebrow piercing for $10, my Monroe piercing for $10. Every single one of my beginning piercings that I got for my channel was $10, okay? And I'm here to tell you guys right now, a lot of them weren't done very well, okay? The big one that I can think of is my septum. The very first time I ever got my septum done, I got it done for $10. And it was incredibly painful because they pierced through the actual cartilage and it was very, very low. And they also gave me a very large, ginormous diameter ring, horseshoe ring, that just looked absolutely terrible. Like when I go back and I see old pictures or videos with that, I'm like, oh my fuck, what the hell? Cheap piercings are not always good piercings. Granted, a few of them were okay, like my Monroe was good, my nostril was good, but all of the other ones, probably not that great. My tongue piercing probably wasn't done very well because it was $10, and I'm pretty sure the guy was high on drugs when he pierced my tongue. Not even gonna lie about that. I truly think he just got done smoking a pipe in the back before he came and pierced me. Downtown GR, what up? Just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's good, and you're gonna fuck up your body, and you're gonna have all these fucked up wonky piercings that you're gonna have to pay more money down the road to get them fixed, which is what I had to do with my septum. Okay. Okay, everybody, and that is everything that I have for what I would tell myself before tattoos and piercings. Those were the 5 points that I really wanted to talk about. Those are the 5 things that I could think of as far as what I would tell myself before I started getting body mods. I actually really liked doing this video. It was kind of fun to expose myself and kind of call myself out. Like, see, I have no problem making fun of myself. It's when other people bitch at me and make fun of me and bully me is when I have a problem. But like, I can expose myself all damn day. Like, so yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much to the person who requested that I do this video. I thought it was a really great idea. Full credit to you. Hopefully you're watching this because I know you really wanted to see this. It was really fun, so I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you go down and give me a huge thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, I want to know, what is something that you would tell yourself before getting tattoos and piercings? Let me know down below. Let's have a little conversation about it. Also, if you are new to my channel and this is the first video of mine that you are seeing, welcome to the family. Make sure you go down and hit that red subscribe button. I do upload every 3 to 4 days here. But as the rest of you, as always, I love you guys so very much. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all very soon in my next video. I love you guys. Bye.